Life Mindset extends a warm welcome to all of our valued audience. It is often said that nothing in this world escapes the laws of nature. Every event in life is not a mere coincidence, but is intertwined with human destiny, which is not determined by physical appearance or Feng Shui, but primarily governed by the law of cause and effect. We live in a world that consists of both the visible and the unseen. Only by understanding the fundamental laws of the universe can we truly gain control over our lives. Please take your time and watch the entire content today. You might uncover answers to many of your questions. Imagine this scenario. One day, while rushing to meet an important client, you come across an elderly couple stranded on the road due to a flat tire. You're in a rush, and you don't want to stop, but your conscience insists on helping. Eventually, you decide to assist them in changing the tire. Afterward, they offer to pay you for your help, but you kindly refuse, wishing them well, and continue on your way. When you finally reach your destination, you discover that your client arrived even later than you, but is cheerful and quickly signs the contract. Do you consider yourself fortunate? In reality, this isn't luck, it is the law of the universe. An undeniable truth in life is the law of cause and effect. So, what exactly is cause and effect? Essentially, it is the principle of cause and effect as seen in physics. The conditions you possess are the cause, and the outcome you experience is the effect, much like a mathematical formula. All the data serves as the cause, and the result is the effect. In physics, the law of cause and effect applies, and our lives follow this very principle. Whatever actions you take, the corresponding outcomes will follow. Choices, too, are a part of cause and effect. If you choose not to study or opt to attend university, your future path will unfold differently. A young person who seeks love, the cause is their own conditions, such as fate, their house, car, etc. Everything plays a role, and the person they fall in love with, along with the impact it has on their life, is the effect. To put it simply, human life is like a physics formula, and the result we experience is the effect of the cause we have set into motion. There is an old saying, first comes fate, second is luck, third is Feng Shui, fourth is virtue, fifth is education, sixth is fame, seventh is fragrance, eighth is reverence, ninth is good friends, and 10th is longevity. A person's destiny is intertwined with countless people and events, particularly with whether or not they meet a noble person, something that cannot be forced. Once, two brothers left their rural village to make a life in Hanoi. 10 years later, the elder brother had bought a house and settled down, while the younger brother returned home empty-handed. Upon reflecting on their journeys, it became clear that the elder brother consistently encountered noble individuals who helped him, making his career progress smoothly. Meanwhile, the younger brother never met such people and instead encountered petty individuals who blocked his path. So, what could he have done differently? A professor once stated that whether we meet a noble person or not depends on fate. Fate is like a blurry web that appears before us, guiding us down a path we cannot alter. It leads us in a direction, and that is its choice. Being recognized as lucky is part of your fate. If you are not recognized, that too is your destiny. An old saying goes, you reap what you sow. Everything in life follows the law of cause and effect. The ebb and flow of the tides, the highs and lows of life, the waxing and waning of the moon, the joys and sorrows of people, the balance of good and evil, success and failure, honor and disgrace. All of these have their causes and effects. While the Bodhisattva sees the cause, people only observe the effect. This phrase reveals many truths and calculations of life. Most people focus on short-term gains and overlook long-term consequences. They are primarily concerned with results, not with the initial causes. In contrast, wise and intelligent individuals focus on the cause and deeply understand the law of cause and effect. Because of this understanding, they are always cautious with their words and actions, knowing that even a small misstep could lead to difficult consequences in the future. Today, we will explore the most important laws of cause and effect that everyone should be mindful of. First, the habit of blaming heaven and earth, or blaming others, can lead to disaster. Life is filled with various types of suffering, each unique in its own way. In reality, many people develop a habit of complaining without realizing that it causes serious consequences in the law of cause and effect, leading to numerous problems in their lives. I have a friend who is a chef. He opened a restaurant but constantly complains that business is tough. He says that there are too many restaurants on his street and that the competition is getting fiercer. People now don't even want to go out because of the cold weather. I remember that months ago, when his restaurant had just opened, he complained that there were too few restaurants on the street and no one came to eat. When there were few restaurants, he complained that it was hard to run a business. When more restaurants opened, he complained about the pressure from competition. Eventually, he had to shut down his business. He tried to open more restaurants, but none of them lasted long. The main reason for his failure was that he never stopped complaining. In fact, many restaurants are located in quiet alleys but still have plenty of customers. If you do a good job, people won't mind traveling far to visit you. When we start to complain about everything and constantly grumble, we gradually lose our faith in life. If we continue forward with a mindset filled with complaints, how can we expect to succeed? Tung Quoc Phian once wrote, "If you blame heaven and earth without reason, heaven will make you suffer more. If you blame others, they will not respect you." Complaining about small misfortunes only brings more suffering. Those with wisdom never complain about their suffering, while fools always lament how difficult life is. When hardship strikes, complaining doesn't change the reality. If you study the life of Jack Ma, you'll find that for the first 37 years of his life, he only faced failure. However, after turning 37, he unexpectedly became successful. His secret was simple. He never complained. He admitted that in his 20s and 30s, like everyone else, he complained. He blamed his father for not having a high position in society and complained about being rejected for over 30 job applications. But he soon realized that focusing on the future was far more important than complaining about his past circumstances. Bill Gates, like any ordinary person, has 24 hours a day, and anyone can achieve success through effort. Life is filled with challenges, but if you persevere, a broad path will open before you. Second, knowing contentment is the key to peace in life. Lao Tzu once said, "There is no greater disaster than not knowing contentment, and no greater mistake than endless greed." In reality, the greatest disaster in life is not knowing how to be satisfied, and the greatest mistake is boundless greed. Understanding contentment brings happiness. There is a fable about a poor farmer who lived simply and had just enough to eat and wear. Despite his modest life, every day before eating or going to bed, he would light incense hundreds of times to thank the gods for their blessings. His wife found this odd and asked him why. Since they only ate simple food, he still felt the need to thank the gods. He replied, "We are living in peaceful times, without war or strife. Our family is harmonious and our health is stable. Isn't that enough to be thankful for?" In ancient texts, it is written that there is no greater joy than knowing contentment. There is no greater suffering than endless complaint. The greatest blessing is learning to be content, while the greatest suffering is an insatiable desire. People who are content will have a joyful heart and a healthy body. When greed takes over the mind, countless desires emerge and misfortune follows. Throughout history, many who failed to recognize contentment have fallen into the trap of wrongdoing. Third, the law of cause and effect. A Buddhist saying goes, "Sow melons, reap melons. Sow beans, reap beans." Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. The cycle of cause and effect is unchanging. This is similar to standing in a valley and shouting, "I like you." The valley will echo back, "I like you," but it will never say, "I hate you." Therefore, to receive good results, you must sow good seeds. A kind and virtuous person will surely receive blessings. There was once a king who contracted a strange illness. His entire body was itchy and covered in red spots. The royal doctors tried every rare remedy, but nothing worked. The king grew frustrated and decided to stop using medicine. One day, while traveling outside the palace, he met a young doctor. The doctor suggested a simple remedy using rhubarb soaked in water for 5 days. The king thought, "How can such a simple remedy cure my illness?" The young doctor responded, "Just try it. If it doesn't work, I won't charge you a penny." After using the remedy, the king's illness was cured. He returned to the pharmacy to thank the doctor and offered him a large sum of money. However, the doctor declined, saying that he only wished to befriend the king. Impressed by the doctor's skill, the king offered him a position in the royal palace, but the doctor refused, stating that he preferred to open a public clinic to help the people. From then on, the doctor's reputation grew and his medical practice flourished. This story illustrates that doing good deeds without expecting anything in return will naturally bring blessings. Fourth, fortune and misfortune have no fixed doors. In the Tao Te Ching, there are two well-known lines. Misfortune is where fortune hides, and fortune is where misfortune lies. This means that when a person experiences many blessings, they should not become arrogant, as disaster may secretly lie within. Similarly, when facing hardship, one should not despair, as an opportunity may be nearby. This principle is reflected in how many inventions that were originally created to improve life later became the source of disaster. For example, before the invention of money, people didn't crave wealth to the point of madness. But after money was introduced, many people became slaves to it. Similarly, mobile phones, initially designed for communication, have now caused many children to become addicted to them, unable to function without them. Many people have become slaves to tall buildings and cars, slaves to the very things they created. Life is like a magnetic field. Whatever you are, you attract similar things. If you have a narrow heart, you will have a narrow path in life. When your heart is wide, your life path becomes broader. When you let go, your life becomes peaceful. If your heart is open, your fortune naturally follows. Everything in life is shaped by your actions, thoughts, and character. By cultivating a good heart and letting go of grudges, you create a life filled with opportunities and positive outcomes. Keep nurturing a good heart, and the universe will take care of you. Fifth, life's course is determined by your character and actions. The Tao Te Ching emphasizes that living in harmony with the Tao brings fulfillment, and living with virtue leads to success. However, when a person strays from the Tao and loses their virtue, they will inevitably face losses. Life is like a magnet. The energy you project will attract similar forces. If your heart is pure and positive, you will draw good things toward you. If your thoughts are negative or malicious, you will attract negativity. This is why it is essential to cultivate your character and mindset, ensuring that you attract good things rather than obstacles and setbacks. If you want to understand a person's true nature, simply observe their friends. If they have many friends who indulge in materialism, their character likely reflects a similar nature. On the other hand, someone with only a few close friends is likely to be mature, steadfast, and honest. The law of attraction operates this way. The people you meet shape who you become. You attract people who resonate with your energy, and those people influence your life's journey. Just as like attracts like, positive individuals will naturally gravitate toward each other, while those filled with negativity will find themselves surrounded by similar forces. Everything in life is not by chance. There is a deep connection and law of cause and effect behind it all. This is why it's so important to focus on nurturing a positive, kind-hearted nature, because it will draw good things to you. If you're constantly negative, the negative forces around you will only amplify. By cultivating inner peace, wisdom, and kindness, you will naturally attract positive energy, opportunities, and success. Sixth, virtue and kindness bring fortune. People who live with sincerity, integrity, and kindness often find themselves receiving unexpected blessings. The kind-hearted person who helps others in times of need will discover that others will help them when they too face difficulties. Those who do good deeds without expecting anything in return are often rewarded with fortune and success, sometimes in ways they never imagined. A long time ago, there was a renowned physician who not only possessed great medical skills, but also had a compassionate and loyal heart. One day, after treating a concubine in the royal palace, he encountered an elderly man who had collapsed by the roadside due to illness. Despite being urged not to help, the doctor, driven by his compassion, decided to treat the elderly man and gave him a prescription. Years later, when the doctor found himself unjustly imprisoned and sentenced to death, the son of that elderly man whom the doctor had helped came to his rescue and freed him from prison. This demonstrates that the universe often rewards those with a kind heart, even in the most unexpected ways. The message here is clear. Every kind word or thought of goodwill never goes to waste. The kindness you extend to others will come back to you in ways you never imagined. When you treat others well, you illuminate your own path, and that light not only warms others but also brightens your own life. A heart that is open, generous, and forgiving is the key to peace, joy, and fortune in life. 7th, generosity leads to a broader life. Once, a scholar who passed the imperial exam and was appointed as a high-ranking official was often criticized behind his back by others. One day, a fellow official pointed to him and criticized his qualifications. Instead of reacting angrily, the scholar simply walked past without responding, saying that he didn't need to be bothered by such comments. This story soon spread, and people praised him for his magnanimity. Due to his generosity, the scholar gained the respect of his peers and was later trusted by the emperor, becoming an important figure in the government. This story highlights the fact that when we are able to let go of petty grievances and cultivate a magnanimous spirit, we open the door to more blessings and opportunities. Life is too short to be caught up in small disagreements and disputes. The more we focus on what truly matters, being kind, open, and generous, the more room we create for happiness and success in our lives. If we are constantly comparing and measuring, we will find that the joys of life are fewer and fewer. But if we choose to be magnanimous, life will open up to us, and our path will be easier and smoother. 8th, life is a series of interconnected causes and effects. At first glance, it might seem as though a person's life is predetermined, but in reality, every action they take, every event they experience, and every person they encounter are all part of the law of cause and effect. Fortune or misfortune in life is simply the result of the kindness, patience, and generosity we show to others. Those who are kind-hearted, who lend a helping hand to others in need, and who face challenges with courage, will find that they are met with good fortune and unexpected blessings in return. People who are kind and generous tend to be trusted by others who help them in times of need. They are not motivated by personal gain, but by a genuine desire to help and protect others. Their kindness and selflessness attract positive energy, and they often find themselves blessed by the universe. People who are generous and magnanimous will also find that others willingly give their trust and support, further improving their relationships and fortune. In life, there is no success that happens by chance, nor is there any good fortune that appears without cause. Everything you experience, every success you achieve, and every relationship you form is the result of your actions and thoughts. The law of cause and effect governs everything in the universe. Therefore, always be kind-hearted, generous, and patient, and you will attract more blessings into your life. Life's twists and turns, the people we meet, the opportunities we encounter, and the success or failure we experience are all governed by the law of cause and effect. The more you cultivate kindness, generosity, and patience, the more you will attract positivity, success, and good fortune. Always remember that the energy you put out into the world will return to you in ways you cannot predict. Make the choice today to sow good seeds, and you will reap a harvest of blessings in the future. Thank you for watching until the end. If this video has helped you, please like and support it. Leave a comment with your own positive affirmations. I wish you a prosperous, peaceful, and joyful life, filled with boundless blessings. If you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button to stay connected with us, no matter where you are. Let's continue to cultivate goodness and spread virtue together.